Hi, I'm Quincy, and today I am playing Hacknet, the game that makes you feel like a hacker. And I'm not going to. I've been playing quite a bit. I've actually reached the end. It took me 6 hours, 7 hours maybe. But that was following largely the main flow, so I missed a lot of the sort of missions as you go. Each mission being to perform a hack or get a bit of information. So I'm actually going to, rather than start from the beginning, I'm going to jump in from where I was pretty close to the end and show you how the hack works. So basically, you're a hacker, or more actually, to be honest, you're more a script kiddie because you're using programs that other people have provided. You're not really writing your own. You're not really going through and discovering these holes for the first time. You're just using these programs that other people have provided to hack into various computers. And this is sort of network maps of these are all the computers, some of which I've hacked into and some of which I just used for information. It gets a bit of a mess there. The UI, as you can see, is quite spartan, very text oriented, but that's thematic. It's probably thematically correct, probably because I'm not a hacker and I don't actually know. I don't know the details. I'm going to guess that it feels right to me, even though I have no idea whether it's correct or not. There is a bit of UI here. So this is essentially a sort of UI of what you're seeing on the screen. This is your sort of text thing, and there's sort of half a shell. I mean, you can do things like ls and cd into home and look at things, and then cat documents, cat text, and there's completion. But at the same time, it's not quite right, because so for instance, if I put a space, then that breaks tab completion, and the program won't run. So if I put space cd, doesn't work. But if I hit cd, it does. So it's not quite the complete. You're not dealing with a full operating system or Unix shell here. It is clearly a game. This is your network map of the various computers you can connect to, and over here is the sort of running processes on your computer, which are none. And I'm on my computer here. So let's see if I can get a contract. So the game is largely about people contact you through email and give you contracts to hack computers or do various things. And that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to show you the basics. I haven't done this one before, so let's try this. Compromise an EOS device. I wonder what they're trying to say there. A broad current one. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think I had a current one. Broad current contract. Yes, abandon contract. Because I have no idea what the contract is. And then we'll accept. Okay, so someone will email me the details. That's the person who made the game. Because I just finished it, so he just sent me a little message. I'll read that later. That's the one. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. And how do we get back? This is the one I want. Go back. All right. So the details of this mission. This will be kept curt. A client has requested that we search the computer and devices of a given target for what they are calling a registration ID. They believe it will be stored on an EOS device synced to the target's home computer, link attached. Once you have the ID, respond here with it and we'll handle the rest. Okay, so I'll put the details in my memory over here and then we'll connect to the computer. So there it is there. So you start, if I try to log in, it won't work. I don't know what their login is. So it's pointless. So first we probe the system and see what they got. Okay, luckily there's no proxy, so I don't have to break a proxy down. I don't have to break a firewall down. This is a fairly simple one. There are 4 different things, and there's also time limits and things like that, but this one probably won't have a time limit. So we run our programs to hack it. Oh, there is a time limit, 98. So I better start moving quickly. So you run your programs. Not enough memory. Okay. And FTP bounce. That's on 21. Yes, I'm not dealing with much memory at the moment, unfortunately. There we go. Bounce. Then what have we left? Web server worm 80. Can we get? Yep, we can run that. So we run that, we break down the defenses, and then we will hack into the computer. So this is a trace. They're tracing me to find out where I am, and you've got to basically take control of the computer before that runs down, which I'm going to do pretty safely, I think. Yeah. So now I'm in. I should be able to disconnect. If I can type it correctly. Disconnect. Yeah. And now if we go back again. Where was it? There we go. Yeah, I see now. I now have administrator. So what we're looking for is reference ID. So what we need to do is we need to find, so we can scan this. No connected computers. Check for EOS devices. Yep, we found one. So there's that one there. So before we go, we'll just remove the logs, make sure that no one can track us, and then we'll jump over to this EOS device and see if we can find this ID. Here, and I know from a previous one, I know the login and password for all EOS devices, because apparently they're always the same. Nice little joke there. And let's see what we've got on here. We're looking for something. Oh, IDs. Registration ID. So this would be this AAX1BB7. I'm actually just going to write that down. AAX1BB7. So now I think it's time just to email that to this person. AAX1BB7 add, send, and done. There we go. So that's how you do it. And yeah, I mean, things as you go along, you get more programs to break down new types of defenses. Time limits get shorter, and that's the basic process. It's the same thing, you know, to break into a computer over and over again, and then you just sort of trawl around them. There's normally a few little jokes there, little IRC logs that some are quite humorous, and quite possibly they're real too. I mean, if they've some of the things I used to see on IRC in the back in the 90s, they'd be about as silly as the things that appear in the IRC logs on these computers. The game definitely doesn't hold your hand. You sort of just have to work it out for yourself a lot of the time, what's going on and what you need to do. I mean, there's a bit of, I mean, you can see from the description, I mean, they'll give you a bit of a description about what you need to do, but often, and on a few notable occasions, you really have to work out quite a lot by yourself. It can become quite challenging to work out as you sort of go round and round. What did you miss? What information I wasn't here? Is there another computer that I'm supposed to hack that I haven't seen? You really have to, you do have to think a bit. It's quite strange because most of the hacking is quite rote. It's just a matter of breaking down the defenses, and if there's a time limit, making sure you do it within the time limit. And then the other time is what you do with that information. Once you've hacked into it, it's often that is the more sort of complex thing, trying to work out what it is you need to do. Most of them are fairly straightforward. A few are quite, well, they had me stumped for a little bit of time and required some thought for me to work. There's a story, and but it's okay. It's an okay story. You run through it, you get to the end after 7 hours or so, or 8 if you're doing all the missions. I generally stopped. As you can see, there's maybe 4 or 5 missions there that I haven't done, even though I've gone to the end of the story. So there's it's quite a bit there. It's a decent game. It was felt quite sort of interesting, the way sort of hacking and typing things in to find things or rummaging around. Yeah, I think that if it was a much longer game, I'm not sure it would really do quite so well. I think that it needs to be a short game, because the things do get a bit repetitive with just, as I said, a couple of harder missions to make you really think. Yeah, I liked it. It was a good game. I kept playing all the way to the end. Yeah, what else is there to say? Command line interface. The UI does feel very crowded, but as I said, maybe that's, especially this little network map down here. A lot of times I was like scanning through the map. Where's the damn computer I need to find? Yeah, that was a bit annoying, but I think it's supposed to feel quite primitive. I hope. Yeah, so that's largely it. You've seen the basic gameplay. You solve these little missions, rummaging around people's computers. It's an interesting game. If you like what you've seen, then it's going to be 6-7 hours of the same thing. Anyway, thank you very much for listening or watching, and bye.